Alrighty guys, thank you very much for joining me here today. It means a lot that so many caring individuals really care about the efforts that I do here today. And so currently I'm working for a nonprofit organization that advocates for various bills to support global poverty. It is called the Borgen Project. And I'm going to go into a little bit of history about the Borgen Project just so you guys know about the general information on how it all started. So pretty much in 1999, this is going to be a little bit of a history lesson for you guys. There's something called the Kosovo War, which is when the Yugoslavian forces took over Albania, and all the Albanians, they were pretty much fleeing to refugee camps. And a man named Clint Borgen, hence the name the Borgen Project, started the organization. And so during the time when he was interning for college, he was actually interning for these refugee camps, and then he realized the terrible conditions that these Albanians were forced to endure, and he was thinking about the things that America could have done to provide foreign assistance to better the lives of these individuals. And because he viewed America as such an agenda-setting country, because of how economically advanced it is compared to all the other developing countries out there, he believed that the country and the federal government could be doing more, be providing foreign assistance for these countries. So I wanted to talk to you guys about why the Borgen Project ensures that we all have a global shield, because foreign assistance and pretty much giving back to all these developing countries, it does provide a shield for our country overall for a couple of reasons. As some research and statistics have shown that the more of a economic statement that you are, like the more economically oppressed and restricted from pretty much your income that you are, you're pretty much more likely to commit crimes out of desperation, as it could lead to a lot of mental health disorders, like when you're restricted from owning the basic necessities in life, like owning your own house, having a steady job. It could really impact the minds of individuals, and hence crime rates increase for our country. And it's not only that, but there's also a lot of wartime veterans that state that they prefer diplomacy over having a good defense system, because getting on good terms with all developing countries and ultimately helping them out, it does decrease the chance of our country going into war with any other countries anytime soon. And there's a lot of quotable defense generals.
Let it go.
Let it go.
So I don't want to litter, that's bad for the environment. So there's a lot of quotable U.S. defense generals that stated that they prefer diplomacy over U.S. defense systems because it saves a lot more money in the long run, and it's a lot more cheaper as well. So pretty much what the Borgen Project plans on doing is it's gonna pretty much economically uplift all these developing countries in a variety of ways. So we could think of global poverty. I'm going to give you guys a little illustration and a representation. So let's think of global poverty as grass, for example. If you want to get rid of grass, you can obviously trim it, and when you trim grass, it's gonna stay down for a little bit, but then it's gonna grow up eventually, in the long run. So pretty much, you can think about that as just simply giving other individuals helpful resources and money, but unfortunately, that's not gonna solve global poverty because just like as I used for an example, trimming grass, it's not gonna stay down for a while. It's gonna grow back up again. So pretty much what the Borgen Project does, that's better than what people view as foreign assistance. It really digs down to the soil, and it really ensures that the grass does not grow again, hence global poverty. So pretty much it goes into a bunch of different foreign assistance bills that will actually help various grassroots problems that actually cause global poverty. And so what we want to do is we want to issue the messages to people as to the biggest problems that are going on in developing countries right now. And I can list a lot of them off the top of my head about the issues that we have right now in the developing countries. We could think about gender inequalities when it comes to education. If you don't have a great education, then it could really limit your futures in having a good job in the long run, and it also does lead to lower economic statuses within these developing countries. Also, the coronavirus, it was more relevant in 2020 than it was as it's ever been, and the coronavirus has led to a lot of people ending up in global poverty, living under $1.90 every single day, which is a really harsh reality to come to terms with. And so COVID-19, it's forced a lot of businesses to shut down, and unfortunately a lot of people were having decreases in their incomes. And unfortunately, yes, a lot of parents weren't able to feed their children because of this. So we have to realize that a lot of countries are having limited access to vaccinations. And so those are just two of the huge grassroots problems that ultimately cause global poverty. And there's a couple more, like mental health disorders. Mental health disorders do restrict people's routines. It could really prevent somebody from thinking properly and actually like speaking to individuals, speaking to people that are actually willing to hire them. Also speaking with people or just like speaking with people in general, it could be really difficult for them, and it's really difficult for them to just maintain a steady job in general. So mental health disorders and having proper psychotherapy resources is also important for these countries. And there's one more. It is global malnutrition or undernutrition, because of course world hunger is a huge problem in our world today. As I know millions upon millions of children all over the world, especially in regions like Africa and South Asia. There's many countries that are restricted from undernourishment, and they're not receiving the proper resources like vitamin A. They're not receiving the proper minerals like iron and iodine, which really does like start problems within like the human brain. Also pretty much the digestive system. So a lot of individuals are struggling with that because their countries don't have the proper resources. So we issue these sort of messages, and we also educate on people on various bills that are waiting to be passed by Congress. And these bills actually do help foreign assistance. Like we have something called the MINDS Act, which is the Mental Health in Development and Humanitarian Settings Act, which does there's a lot of federal foreign assistance programs out there like USAID. So it does ensure that psychotherapy treatment, that education for psychotherapy treatments do go to other countries. So it's going to prevent mental health disorders from being such a huge problem within these countries.